Tammy's Boy Podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only. Jon Carden is not a licensed therapist. He is just a friend.
Welcome on in, Tammy's kids. Thanks for joining us once again. We appreciate you. You know the podcast by now, and if you don't, well, let me tell you what it is. We sit down and we talk about our parents, and that's pretty much it. You never know where it's going to go. You never know where it's going to lead. By now, hopefully, you know me. I'm Jon. I had a crazy childhood. My mom bought my Christmas presents at a flea market, so I know a thing or two about crazy moms. But before we get into it, let's hear from my friend, my producer, Mr. Cole Garrett.
Tammy's boys and girls, how the hell are we doing? We're coming at you again this week with another one. Got a great episode headed your way. Like always, guys, full video is going to be available on YouTube and Spotify, and the audio is going to be available on all your other podcast listening platforms. Guys, if you have a crazy story, right, about a Tammy or your own, mom, dad, and uncle, email us. Email us at tammysboypodcast@gmail.com, and we will read those stories on the air. Also, if you guys have any just crazy questions that you think we could ask a guest, something related to families, family dynamics or something, you watch the show, you know what we do, go ahead and just put a comment right down below, and we will read those on the air also. Guys, that's enough out of me. Jon, who the hell we got on the show today?
Isn't he so good at it?
That's crazy you put him to work like that. That's awesome. You're the only guy that I've done the podcast as a producer that goes hard like that, dude.
Buddy, he goes hard in the paint, man.
That's right. We're different over here at Tammy's Boy.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I didn't find a producer. I found a soldier.
Marine, goddammit.
Yeah, dude.
Today, we've got a good friend of mine. He just opened for me on the road in South Padre. Works at Sunset Strip. I love him to death. He's been on Kill Tony. It's Ronaldo Mercado, everybody.
Yay.
Welcome to the show.
Well, hey, thanks for having me.
We had a good time.
I kind of hate that is one of my credits that I got pulled out of a bucket.
I know,
you know what I
man.
mean? It's like...
You know me.
Yeah.
You know me at this point. You know how I feel.
Yeah.
And but I want to give everyone their flowers.
No, thank you.
Yeah, and it's like, it doesn't matter if you got pulled out of a bucket. You did the job when you did. You know what I mean?
True.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that it doesn't matter how you get it. It matters what you fucking do with it.
True.
Goddamn
That's right, dude. I had the same... whatever, I had the same chances as like some guy with schizophrenia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It went all right.
Well, maybe not the same chances. I think they put 3 of those names in the bucket. You know what I mean? They see a guy walk up like this and they're like, all right, he's getting up.
No, dude, no way. I believe in Santa. I think it's real. I still believe in the pool. I still think it's, I don't question things. You know what I mean? If you put it right in front of me, I go, yeah, I believe you.
No, I think critically.
Nice.
I think critically. I don't, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. If I'm looking on the sidelines and I see an Uncle Laser, I'm going to be like, all right, who the fuck is this dude? How can I get him up here?
Fair, dude. Well, thanks for having me in this big ass chair, dude.
It's comfy,
we
right?
get a lot of comments on that.
This is great.
I'd like to think we've got the most comfortable podcast
100%.
on the planet.
100%.
It's meant to be comfy.
Yeah, behind the scenes, me and Jon talk a lot about the furniture on the pod. You know,
so
we switched
much.
it out. But I think no matter what we do, as long as it's comfortable, that's the goal.
All right, I'm a couch guy.
Yeah.
I'm a big couch guy. I mean, we did the first 40 episodes or so on the couch.
Just recently moved here to this studio.
This is like maybe the 4th episode in the new studio.
Yeah.
So I'm a big couch guy. So we're still, I'm still battling them on these recliners after almost every episode.
Yeah, but
Really, you don't like you don't like it. You were more of a couch. You think for podcasting or just in general?
In general, I'm not a recliner guy. I never have been.
Me either, but this is like kind of changing my mind.
Yeah, I think
that's the,
I think if I would have swapped those, he would be probably singing a different tune.
But that's why I'm not a recliner guy.
Why?
Because I know that if I sit in a recliner for too long, I'm gonna become a fucking recliner guy.
Your dad and the lazy boy right now, dude.
I know. I never wanted to be that dad.
Lazy boy dad?
No, I want to be Chase Lounge dad.
Oh, wow. You want to like do cocaine with strange women? You want to be like Don Draper, like hit your wife or something?
Dude, don't even get me started. You know I've been on fucking Mad Men, dude.
Yeah. That's
I'm
right.
deep in Mad Men right now.
Forgot.
I even brought it up on the pre-record when we did the Patreon thing. He said something about fatherhood that like almost made me cry, dude, because it's so relatable.
Really?
He's like, yeah, I miss them, and then I pick them up, and then I don't know what to do with them. He goes, and then I drop them off, and I'm kind of relieved. He goes, and then I just miss them again. And I was just like, fuck, dude. That's so relatable.
Yeah, man.
I kind of feel that way with my wife sometimes. Like, I get the fuck away from me. Where are you?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, my girlfriend's going to be gone for 2 weeks in Alaska. And like, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with myself.
Dude, she's gonna come back and you're just gonna be a lump on the floor in your tighty whities.
Yeah. I mean, again, dude, there's gonna be fire coming out of the toilet. It's gonna be a mess.
A lot of
dude.
lotion bottles hanging around.
She's gonna be like, "Where's the cat?" You're gonna be like, "We had a cat." Yeah, you loved it. I don't remember life anymore.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm gonna be so glad when she's back, dude. It's gonna be great.
That's nice.
Doing
nice.
we moved together, and it was just us pretty much solo doing the move.
Is this the longest you've been apart in a long time?
Yeah, whenever she goes to do that, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Is she not even gone yet and you already miss her?
I'm just kind of like thinking about. I haven't thought of you brought it up. You guys brought it up, and I was like, wow, dude, yeah, I haven't even thought about like what I'm gonna do with myself. So
you need a plan.
Yeah.
a plan.
Yeah, I would even make a fucking itinerary.
I got to be busy. I think I'm literally gonna go I'm gonna go out of town for a couple of the days. I think so.
Yeah, you
That'll
should.
be.
Yeah. You should eat, pray, and love, dude.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Straight up. Just make your way through fucking Austin food trucks.
I don't, dude. I don't even think I'm
yeah.
gonna. No, probably. I got to do something like that. Yeah, I got to go like on a walk. You know, I got to make a plan to go on a walk, or like maybe go to a skate park or something. Do that.
Or
maybe don't change it up too much. You don't want to come home to a new person.
A different guy.
Yeah, there's also
you're
that.
enlightened.
Yeah,
She comes in, you're
you're wearing
floating.
a drug rug. And
Yeah, you're floating. You're like,
Yeah.
I am one with the world.
Yeah. Well, I told you that whenever I left 6 hits of acid in my freezer at the old place, dude, and it literally hit me while we were in the middle of the drive. I was like, "Fuck, dude!"
It was so funny. It was such an epiphanous moment for him, where he's just sitting there like, "Fuck, man!" And we're like, "What's wrong?" He's like, I left 6 hits of acid in my freezer.
Yeah.
you already turned in the keys.
Yes.
Oh fuck! Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
I know.
And then they charged you, right? They tried to charge you.
Yeah. I have.
And
extra,
I told you should just tell them about the 6 hits of acid in the freezer.
I go,
Yeah.
is this a good deal? This
Yeah.
counts this is a trade, right?
They'll take the money off,
It's
dude.
a 75-year-old.
This is why it's worth way more than whatever. Yeah.
Or just take the acid and then decide whether you should charge me or not.
That's what. Yeah. I go, hey, you take that acid and you let me know if money's still real. Okay. You take all those 6 hits and you let me know if that's something you actually need. Watch this whole thing crumble right before your eyes, dude.
Right? You think
Realize how wrong your job is.
you're going to come to and just hate capitalism. And you're going to be like, this man doesn't know a dime.
Yeah, we should dose landlords, right?
Every one of them.
Yeah, dosing landlords. would
Every
be awesome.
super, just make them do mushrooms once a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. On the day before rent's due.
Yeah. And then they hit you up. You're like, hey man, just don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it, man.
Catch me next month.
Yeah, straight up.
Yeah.
Are you feeling? How's your life going? You know what I mean? Let's not worry about money. Let's
Yeah.
worry about happiness.
That would be so crazy, dude. If landlords actually cared, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, they do care about the fucking rent.
That's it.
We always start this off real simply, and it's just who raised you.
Fucking SpongeBob.
This ain't the first time we got that answer, brother.
Yeah, really? Yeah, of
Yeah.
course, I bet. Yeah. My mom's, dude. Shelly.
Mm-hmm.
Shelly. Oh yeah, she's
Single
a
mom.
Yeah, she's a single mom. And another Y, right?
Yeah.
And with the Y, and then with the E.
I have a
Shelly,
theory that
Tammy.
most bad mothers end with E. Kelly, Sherry, Tammy.
E.
E.
You mean why?
Well,
Yeah, but the E
sound.
The
Oh,
E sound.
I
Yeah.
understand. Okay.
Marie, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Marie. Yeah.
Every toxic mom. I've never heard a bad mom named Beth.
Yeah, but is that kind of the same? I guess not say. I was gonna say, like the Tommy kind of thing, but that's different for women.
No,
Like
I
Marie
think,
and Mary.
I think if it goes for dads, it's kind of the same thing, but it's like a Ricky,
Yeah.
Randy.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
those guys are probably.
Yeah, definitely.
I
Randy.
mean, I have a theory that if they have 2 names or they're a junior, they will spend time in jail.
Ooh, yeah.
Tammy Lynn,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Becky Jane,
Bobby Joe.
Bobby
Yeah.
Joe,
Yeah,
My dad's a
absolutely.
Danny.
Ricky Jr. Ricky Jr. is destined for jail.
Yeah.
Straight up. And
Uh-huh.
especially if it's not Richard.
Yeah.
If it's just Ricky
Yeah.
Jr., dude, I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
You need
dude.
you don't need a college fund.
Yeah.
You need a bail money fund.
Yeah.
Yeah, his dad's like a mechanic, right? Ricky. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Ricky Sr.?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
he does like part-time stock car driving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not the real deal. But like mud tracks on the weekends.
Yeah.
Just enough to like fuck up your childhood.
But 3 beers in, he's pretty cool.
Oh, 3 beers in, he's cool and he can drive like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know Greg Warren?
Yeah.
He has that great joke about names like that. Like you never want like your lawyer, your public defender. You never want it to be like and now for the defense, Randy. You go,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm going to jail." Like, oh no.
Dude, I think it's funny what attorneys are doing now because they're giving themselves like fighter names. Like there's a guy named like Mike, Mike the Ironside Williams.
Oh Jesus.
And it's like, I'm going to keep you on the right side of the iron.
Oh
Yeah, but those are like
God.
billboard lawyers too, right?
Yeah,
I
but
feel like billboard lawyers have always had that.
Oh
you know,
my
they're
God.
marketing geniuses.
Oh my God! Have you seen the slut lawyer? There's a slutty lawyer now.
Yeah,
Did you
there's a
know that,
slutty
dude?
lawyer?
Yeah, for the hot. It literally says like "hot girls choose Suzanne" or whatever,
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
And then there's David Comey, the attorney that rocks.
That guy's wild, dude.
Yeah.
I remember that was like one of the first things I saw in Austin was a bus going by with a lawyer, a white dreads lawyer,
Yeah.
a white guy with dreads lawyer. I
I
go,
can
that's
relate to that.
if
Yeah.
that's
you're not-
insane, dude.
If you're not from Austin or don't know about Austin, just understand that this attorney looks like he's been lost at a Grateful Dead concert
Yeah.
for the past 25 years.
yeah,
And
yeah.
we just reemerged.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks like Fish's biggest fan. You know what I mean? He looks like he followed the Parliament on tour.
yeah,
He
yeah.
literally, like it's crazy. He looks like he gets featured in a Rob Zombie film. It's insane what this dude fucking looks like. And he's the last person that I would ever want to represent me in a court of law.
Yeah, he has to put whenever he swears in, he puts his right hand on the Allman Brothers song. And it's like,
He puts it on the original Leonard Skinner playlist. Set list.
yeah, exactly,
I swear on Freebird.
dude. Yeah, my mom Shelly, she raised me. She was a good mom. She was crazy though. She was wild.
Yeah,
Like she was definitely like
a Tammy type.
I don't know if I would say Tammy type, but like my mom would get into like bar fights and shit.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know
that's-
what I mean?
that's Tammy behavior.
Like,
Checking out.
Yeah. And like my mom wasn't like she wasn't like an overly politicized person or whatever, you know, like
Okay.
it's like I never like you talk to like people they get their political like beliefs from like their parents or whatever, you know, they'd be like, "Oh, my mom was like a bleeding heart liberal or like whatever."
Yeah.
My mom was like nothing, she didn't care about.
She was like asexual when it came to politics.
Right, yeah. Her biggest thing was like getting like food on the table for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so she, yeah,
I'm not worried about who's running the country. I'm worried who's running the fucking house.
exactly. Yeah. So she was like she was good. She was a good mom for sure. As far as like she made sure we were always taken care of. But like,
Was she hard on you?
to a point. For like, she always let me do whatever I wanted. But she would always like, yeah, she would. I mean, hard as in like what? Like she would hit me for sure. Yeah.
Do you
Okay,
think
I got
she-
popped
'cause
in the
I know-
mouth a few times?
I had a mom that would overcorrect, that would not do anything for a long time, and then realize that everything was like out of control, and then would like overcorrect.
Oh wow.
Was it like that at all?
No, not really. No, it would be
Did the punishments fit the crime?
most of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, she's pretty lax. She's probably too easy.
Are you
Yeah.
only
On me,
child? You got
yeah.
Siblings?
I have a sister. I have an older sister.
Okay. How
Yeah.
much older? Like
6 years.
Okay.
She's
so
6
still
years
close enough
older.
that.
Oh,
like,
so you had a
guys-
babysitter.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But she was also like, so she was born premature and she has autism.
Okay.
So she was only the babysitter sometimes. You
Okay.
know? She couldn't like only up to like a point,
Yeah.
you know?
Was she like clearly on the spectrum? Or was it
No, she's
more-
got a job. You
Yeah.
know, like she it took her a long time to like learn how to like, you know, like count money and like give change. So she couldn't like, you know, be like a checker or whatever for like a while. But then she like learned how to do it. She like just developed slower. And like you could like have a conversation with her, you know? So it's
Yeah.
like I wouldn't say. I mean, yeah, she was on the spectrum, but like she's functioning. You know,
Yeah.
she finally got her license. Like I got my license before she did,
Okay.
but she finally got a license. Like I remember one time we were in the car, like my mom was trying to teach her how to fucking drive, and my sister just like blowing straight through stop signs and shit. Dude, it's crazy. Yeah,
She was not worried about the brake, dude. All gas.
No, yeah,
No
all
one's
gas,
here.
dude. Yeah, just literally just gunning it through the stop signs, and my mom just fucking yelling at her and shit, dude.
Did your mom teach you how to drive too?
Yeah. Well, no. Like the school taught us how to drive.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
But she was, you know, she like would be in the car to like, cause you had to like rack up whatever, how many hours with like a person.
Yes.
Yeah, learner's
Yep.
permit and shit.
Right.
Yep.
But it was like, that was for like a little bit, and then she was like, "Fucking go to the store, whatever." Like, she wouldn't, she was
forging,
right.
Forging your hours.
She would just let me go by myself.
Yeah,
and she wouldn't be in the car with me. She taught me how to like drive in traffic.
Okay. That's a good skill.
Yeah, like she made me go to like, because we lived outside of the city, outside of St. Louis. So she'd be like, "We're gonna go to St. Louis like during rush hour, and fucking you're gonna learn how to drive through your traffic and feather in the brakes and shit."
My mom used to say shit like, "I didn't bring you into this world to make my life more difficult."
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I think I've heard my mother say the same thing. Actually.
Yeah, I didn't bring you into this world.
My mom would like, she would go like, "Well, let's go." Like to her and my sister, dude, they would butt heads a lot.
Oh yeah,
and she would be like, "Let's go." It's like she'd be like, "You want to like, I'll fucking run you through that wall," like type shit. Yeah. My mom didn't fuck around. Yeah.
Well, you had a bar fighting mama.
Yeah.
Bro, like literally, I have a distinct memory of like waking up. My mom had like a fucking black eye and shit, and then I heard her talking on the phone like, "Hey, you should have seen that other bitch." Like I fucking like literally like she cracked a fucking bottle over some lady's head. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, my mom was fucking, she's pretty badass.
I bet you did your homework that night.
Yeah. She was like a city bus driver for a while.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't take no shit as a city bus driver.
Yeah, you got to have thick skin to do that job.
Yeah,
Right.
you got to be a tough broad
For sure.
Yeah.
because you see shit.
You got to be a tough anybody. I mean,
Especially
my
like
first
you were
day on the
right
job.
outside of St. Louis, right? Oh yeah. See,
Yeah.
that's a different thing. Like lower Midwest, some rough people.
Yeah. I mean, it was, and it was like East St. Louis, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and East St. Louis is like pretty dangerous or whatever,
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Damn, that's
It
a
is,
tough
actually.
mom.
I've seen family vacations.
So you didn't try her very often.
No, I tried to be good, but I also wanted to do whatever the fuck I wanted to do.
That's
so
fair.
like I definitely, she would like, what she would always tell me, I remember she would be like, "You're whatever." She's like, you're 14, not 24, like you can't be fucking doing whatever you want,
Yeah.
It's still my house type shit, and
Yeah. And also, I mean, that's fair.
yeah.
As a parent, I've been that parent. It's tough when you've got a kid that wants to do whatever the fuck they want, and you're like, "Hey, man, hold on."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is I don't adhere to that.
Right.
Yeah, that's not something that I'm a part of, and so it's difficult to draw those lines.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but she was definitely like, once we got like older into high school or whatever, she's like, "If you're gonna drink, I want you to like drink here at the house or whatever," kind of thing.
Tammy had that philosophy too.
We went out to like, me and my friends went out to camp, like out by these like railroad tracks or whatever. I told my mom we were going camping or whatever. She like gave me like a bottle of wine. She goes, "Here, fuck." She goes like, "Mix this." She goes, it's like cheap." She goes, "Take it and like mix it with Sprite. It'll be good or whatever, So she was like fun like that.
Yeah.
We didn't do like family vacations or anything like that really.
Single moms, it's hard to, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, still never been to Disney, dude.
Was there any
Me
place
neither,
that she
man.
would take
Fuck
you?
that.
Like, is there any like local spot, like the lake or like?
So we went to Long Island. I was told you about going
Yeah.
to Long Island and almost drowning in Montauk. Yeah. But we did that together, me and her. Cause like, so my sister, her dad, my sister would go and visit her dad.
Okay, you guys had different dads. Yeah.
Yeah. Her dad's white. My dad's Mexican. So, I'm the mixed baby. Dude, literally, I used to do jokes about it. Like, yeah, my whole family's like full white. Like, some of them are gingers, like straight, like just the whitest white bread people ever. And I was like, I'm the only one that's like a little bit mixed of like anything.
Yeah.
How long did it take her to figure out slurs?
Oh,
Your sister.
my sister?
Yeah. Did she?
I don't think I've ever heard her say a slur, actually.
That's
I don't think
impressive.
she's ever. She was like, she.
Like that's where your mind went.
Of course. Yeah. Look what I do for a living.
she was the good kid because she was like, I mean, she went to church all the time, but she was like getting into devious shit at the church. So like she would get like
I've heard of this.
yeah, dude, she had like a new boyfriend like every week or whatever, or like she would be like trying to get into a relationship with like the pastor and shit like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like my sister was like, she would go to church, but that was like her socializing.
Social circle.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's where she would go to like hang out. It was like Baptist church too. So it's like, it's not like she was going to Catholic mass with incense and fucking holy water every week.
At
It's like
school, was she in regular classes?
no, she was in special ed.
Okay, so yeah, so it was more social circle.
Yeah.
I mean, church can be cool. The right church,
Dude, you get a nice VBS, a little vacation Bible school during the
Dude, don't
summer.
even get me started on VBS, buddy. Juice boxes and sunshine.
Oh my god.
I fucking loved vacation Bible school. That was the only time I didn't have to work in tobacco.
Yes, dude. Grill outs at the park.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, a little slip and slide.
Some VBS ripped.
Yeah.
Dude. Did you ever do vacation Bible school?
I was completely non-religious growing up.
Really?
I didn't do a single church service my entire life.
Interesting.
Not even Easter or Christmas.
Nope, zilch.
Wow.
Yeah, but my parents are like not religious, but they're spiritual. Like my dad was very deep into church early on. So I always grew up with like the idea that like God exists and like, adhere to like these things, but it was never like we never went to church.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like just wasn't a thing.
Church kids are different. The growing up in church, it's different.
Yeah.
It's because like they're still kids. You're still like devious, but then like you have that time Sunday every week where you have to think about how fucked up you are.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember the Catholic school kids. The Catholic school would only go up to like the end of middle school, and then if kids like if they wanted to do high school, they have to get like homeschooled or whatever. So those kids always would go over to like to the high school, and those were all the freaks, dude.
Yeah.
They repressed it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like all the Catholic school kids. Whenever they would go to high school, they would always act up, dude. They were always the ones that were fucking doing drugs or like having sex. You know, they were real bad kids.
Memorial was our Catholic high school, and they had some of the best powder that you could get at 16 years
Yeah,
old.
Sacred Heart was ours, and that was where you went for weed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting now that you say it. Yeah, it's like my stepsister. She went to a Christian school for a little bit out in North Carolina, and I used to get so mad because they got Chick-fil-A for lunch.
Yeah,
Nothing made me madder. Dude. I was eating like school pizza at a public house. She lived with my step grandparents, so she had a different life than I did. She didn't live with her dad. I lived with her dad, and yeah, that's right. My stepdad wasn't even raising his own daughter, but he had to fucking raise me.
That's
you know what I mean?
so funny, dude. That is so funny.
What happened with your dad?
I don't know.
It's a
I think
mystery.
they just didn't get along.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my mom was probably hard to get along with. Like coexisting, maybe. You know, I think, or maybe she just didn't make the right choices because she was remarried. I mean, like it's been like 5 times.
Oh, damn.
Really?
Oh yeah. Like so, I guess So my sister's dad, they were married, and then she was with my dad. I don't think they were never married, but we had, she had a kid.
Yeah.
It was me. Hi, I'm the kid. And then like he left. Like the only memory I have like one memory of like my dad from whenever I was a kid, and it was like them walking me. We lived in like project housing, the KP, and I remember him like holding me and like bringing me into the house because we had like candy cane. It was like wintertime.
Yeah.
They had like candy canes going up to like the walkway or whatever. So that's like the only memory I have of my dad. And then after him, she met this guy, Sergio. And that was like I thought he was my dad. Like that was like my dad.
Yeah.
Like he raised me pretty much,
Yeah.
all the way up until like they ended up, we left when I was in school. I was in elementary school. I had been like 3rd grade. I think it was like 3rd grade around the time whenever we left there. And then she got a house. It was like literally in the same neighborhood,
Yeah.
So just a little bit away. And I think maybe they tried to like make it work again, but it just didn't. It didn't work out.
Sergio and your mom tried to make it work again?
I think so. I mean, 'cause they were so close. There's no way they
Yeah.
weren't like still talking to each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sergio was a good guy though.
He loved me, man. Yeah. He was
a good role
awesome.
model for you,
I loved him too. Yeah, I thought. I mean, it was great. He would tell me stories about Mexico, about fucking chickens running and shit, dude.
Yeah.
And he would curse, and my mom would be like, "Why you gotta curse?" He's like, "It's a fucking story, whatever, yo, you know." And I remember his grandparent or his parents, which were like, you know, they would be my grandparents. Like his parents were like, they grew up in like they lived in like a fishing village in Mexico, and so like I remember his dad came and like the whole week that he's there, he's literally just in the driveway, like sitting on like a milk crate making fishnets, like hand making fishnets. Like that's all I remember he did for like a whole week straight was just him there and fucking. But yeah, they would come and visit. Birthday parties were awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Because dude, Mexican birthday parties are the fucking best, bro.
Oh, dude,
They're
Mexican
so
parties,
lit.
period.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Dude, I remember doing like Christmases with like some of his family and shit, and like literally it would be like fucking 4 a.m. And I'm like, I want to go home. And like, but they're still partying and shit, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Dad didn't keep connection at all once him and Mom split up.
I think they kept talking. I think he would talk to my mom, and then probably.
Yeah, but what about you? You're his son. You know what I mean? Like
we're friends on Facebook. That's kind of funny, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
It's kind of funny.
It's even funnier if he pokes you every now and then.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, dude, he only likes pictures of my girlfriend. Yo, pops, dude. Yeah.
Hey, we got similar taste over here.
Yeah, dude.
Honestly, would you kind of check out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, like I feel like. No, I mean, nothing that I can really remember was like us. I think like on the phone, we maybe had talked a couple times, and then like he got me a car. Like it was like when I was 15 or 16, like a fucking sick ass green Civic, like 2006 or some shit.
Like Fast and the Furious Civic.
Yeah, but it wasn't fully, but it would have been cool though. That would have been sick. Right?
Yeah.
Didn't have
Yeah.
nitrous.
Yeah. Dude, have had underglow. Oh my God, dude. My dad gets me a rice burner for my first car. That would have been sick. But I remember like, yeah,
I forgive you.
right. Exactly. It was like, I got the car and my mom brought me there and she was just kind of like, hey, that's your dad. And I was like, hey, what's up, man?
So was that like the first time really like seeing him or?
Yeah. Well, so I think that may have been the first time. No, so that wasn't the first time. The first time was, guys, sorry, it's the childhood. I kind of try to forget it. You know what I mean? A lot of this stuff is kind of way back there, you know?
Buddy, you are the purveyor of the accuracy. You know what I mean? If you say it's right, it's right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've got no perspective here.
Yeah.
There's no way I could challenge you on this and be like, no, actually, it was.
Well, so I was like a BMX kid, right? And I broke my ankle, and I had to get like surgery because I like broke my growth plate, and they had to like put it back together, and they casted me up, and that was in St. Louis. And my dad worked at the Hooters downtown in St. Louis. He was the kitchen manager, no big deal, and
big shoes to fill.
Yeah, my mom was like, "You want to go meet your dad?" And I was like, "Sure."
I'll go.
Yeah, I'll go to Hooters.
It's an ass.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah.
Let
me explain to you the difference of guests we've had on this show. Back Zumanigi was on here a few weeks ago. You know Back?
Oh yeah, back.
He was on here.
I didn't know he had a last name.
Yeah, I know, right? He was on here a few weeks ago. His dad has written now 2 books. Was one of the top CEOs of sales at IBM.
Oh wow!
He was like one of the most accomplished people that I've heard of. You know, haven't done the podcast. One of the parents. And then we do another. You know, we have you on. And it's like, yeah, my dad worked at Hooters downtown.
Yeah.
And the juxtaposition, the craziness of this podcast is not lost on me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it really is. It's like we are different people because of the people that raised us or the people that didn't.
Absolutely.
And I think it's just. It's crazy, man. And it's funny to me.
Yeah.
And so your dad, you saw him. Did you go to Hooters and see him?
So yeah.
Was that your first time in a Hooters?
No.
He was
I
like,
had been in that.
so hold on. Your dad was like, sorry, son, I haven't been around. Here's some Daytona wing sauce.
Literally.
Yeah. And this is Crystal.
It's so like
This is Crystal. This is Jasmine. These are my coworkers.
Yeah.
Look, don't touch. Wings are buy one, get one on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
I'll see you when I see you.
Yeah, when you need a car.
yeah, when you get your license?
He just hands you a wing plate and it says "Get well soon" in wings.
Bro, it wasn't even that. He was like, he was like, you got a big appetite. He was calling me fat.
Damn.
I got like
So your absent father is fat shaming you at a Hooters?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the meeting, dude.
I'm sorry to laugh at that, but
No.
damn, that's funny.
It's kind of funny, right?
Yeah, that's great.
It's so funny because then I saw Sergio again for the first time for like years after we left. This was before that, before I had met, but like he saw me and he was like, "Wow, you got big." And I was like, "Damn, bro, what the fuck?" Everyone's calling me
every
fat.
angle, man.
Yeah, Sergio saw me. He was like, "You're fat. Here's $20." He like gave me some cash. That was
Well,
it,
maybe
dude.
if y'all, one of y'all were around long enough to teach me how to work out, this wouldn't have been a fucking issue.
Exactly, bro.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, Sergio, maybe you should have taught me a little calisthenics instead of running out on my fucking mom.
Yeah. Maybe you should have moved farther away so I could run there or something.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
dad's name is Hildardo.
Ronaldo.
Hildardo.
Hildardo.
Hold on.
Hildardo.
Like the horse that Viggo Mortensen rode?
That's Hidalgo.
Hidalgo, yeah, that's a different thing. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, his nickname
Different
was
thing, John.
they would call him Hill. Hill was like his, yeah, it was like for sure. They would call him Hill.
Is he still kicking?
He's alive, yeah.
Yeah.
So like he had hit like, I guess my grandpa, his dad, like wanted to he was like on his deathbed and wanted to meet me. And my mom was like, "Hey, this is, your dad's dad. It says that, he's dying, he's in the hospital and he wants to meet you." And I was like, "Nah, I don't really want to go." I was like, I get to like, to him, to my grandpa, to him, it's like, oh, I want to see my grandson that I never got to meet. I want to see. But to me, it's like, I'm going to go see like a guy that's like dying that I don't know
Yeah.
in a room.
Also, I'll go somewhere, meet this guy, and ruin.
There's
The next
no
month or
there's
something,
no sentiment
psychologically.
there driving you to
Yeah.
be there. It's a logical decision.
Right.
And logically, yeah, I wouldn't want to be in a room against my will with an old dude that's dying either.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? If I've got to choose that or a Nintendo, I think I'm picking Nintendo.
How old were you like during this time roundabout?
Oh, this was just like a few years ago. So I was still living in St. Louis, but
Yeah.
I was
So-
definitely doing comedy at the time.
An
So
adult. I mean, you got like stuff going on, but also, I mean,
yeah, this is in the last.
So
the
do you
last
do
7
like I
years.
do? Do you remember periods of your life based on who your mom was with?
That's
Me too.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the eras, dude.
Yeah.
The Eras tour. The Eras tour through my childhood.
It really is
Yeah.
that. Like this was the Dwight era. This was the Randy era.
For
this was
sure.
the Max era.
Yeah. So what I remember, there's the Hildardo era, but that doesn't even really. I don't really remember that. So for me, it's like
it's more like the prequel.
yeah, right. That's yeah, it's the prequel.
and there was a
Yeah.
couple others before that. It was like a Hobbit type thing.
Right,
with
yeah.
sisters.
That's the origin story. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
We figured that one out much later.
That comes much later. Yeah, yeah. It's like 15 years later, like
Yeah.
too late. It's like,
Yeah.
this is kind of stale.
yeah,
you
it's
know?
basically Black Widow.
So it was Sergio. That's also why I remember like grades in like schools, because I went to that's why I asked you like how many schools you fucking went to. I think I went to so it was Frohart, Wilson, Niederinghaus.
Niederinghaus.
Yeah, isn't that a crazy fucking name for an elementary school?
Yeah, that sounds like where your sister had to go.
Oh my God.
The Niederinghaus. That's so funny. A bunch of kids with helmets on, dude. Yeah, the Niederinghaus. Yeah.
Niederinghaus.
Yeah, it was I think I went to three elementary schools. But yeah,
Okay.
so it was Sergio.
I did too. I went to 3 elementary schools.
Yeah, Sergio, Luis, and Cuervo.
So
your
once
mom has
she
a type.
once she hit
Yes.
his once
Yeah.
she hit
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
once she broke brown ground, Okay,
There's no turning around.
There was no turning back.
Did you grow
No
up?
turning around.
Did you grow up in like a highly like Hispanic community?
Bro, no.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
I grew up in Granite City, Illinois.
Yeah.
It's so backstory for moms.
Okay.
And again, I think this is like, so my grandma, and this is also, so like I told you, me and my girlfriend have been together 10 years, like, and we're not married, and like I haven't proposed. Like marriage is cursed in my fucking family, dude. Like everyone has been divorced and remarried. Even my grandma, all of my aunts, my uncle, my mom, they've all been fucking so many times divorced and remarried. So my mom's dad is not my grandpa. It's my uncle's dad that is like my grandpa.
Okay.
Grandpa Walker. Grandpa Bill. That's like, that was like, he was the one that was around. That was the grandpa. But like, but my mom's dad, he lived in Texas. My uncle's dad, Grandpa Bill, he was.
Was that your dad's dad too, or was that a different dude?
No,
that was his uncle's dad. Right?
Yes.
But your uncle on your dad's side, your uncle on your mom's side?
My mom, everything's my mom's side.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know anything.
Nothing
Is
Was
my
he,
yeah.
Was he Bill? You said
Bill.
So was he also like the father figure to your mom growing up?
So this is where
So
I'm.
him
This is
and
what
your
I'm
mom
getting
had
to.
different dads?
What?
Him and your mom had different dads? That's what I'm gathering?
My uncle?
Yeah.
Yeah, my uncle and my mom have different dads.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like me and my sister have different dads.
Okay.
We're back.
Yeah. So, it's confusing, right? So
but
grandpa.
I know white trash math.
Every episode I do a family tree.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
it
yeah,
doesn't take me long to catch the fuck up.
So grandpa, they were all living together, and he was in the Air Force. Yeah. Or the Army. But he worked with planes. They lived in England. He was stationed in England, and they were living over there, and they had it with my mom. They couldn't handle her. I guess she was just being a bad kid. I really don't know. I don't know exactly. I don't remember what it was that why they sent her.
I mean, given the fact that she fought in bars, and came home with black eyes, I don't guess that's a non-problematic childhood.
Right.
She learned it from those fucking limey Brits, dude. They tainted your mother.
Yeah, she was.
This all comes back to the fact that we can blame the Brits for everything.
That's right.
She was being a hooligan.
250th this year, ladies and gentlemen. God bless America.
So they sent my mom back to America to go live with her dad in Del Rio, Texas.
Damn.
So that's
South Texas, in case people don't know.
Border
which is,
town.
Yeah, right next to Juarez, not far from Juarez.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking, so that's where she grew up there, and she would go to Mexico. She would literally go with her cousin, and they would they were underage, and they would cross the border, walk over the border into Mexico, and would go and get drunk and come back, and so that's where the Mexican tendencies come from. Yeah,
that makes sense.
My mom can cook her ass off, dude.
Yeah.
We used to have beef tongues that she would hang them from above the sink so the blood would drain.
Yeah.
It's I remember this when we lived with Sergio, and she would prepare lengua, and she would always cook every year around Christmas time. She always makes tamales. Her pozole is the fucking bomb. So
Your mom's like an honorary Mexican.
She's an honorary. My mom's more Mexican than I am. I tell a joke about it, but she's got her eyebrows tattooed on her face. She's more Mexican than I am.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Does your mom have other tattoos?
She's got a tramp stamp that says "Bésame," which is Spanish for "kiss me."
Yeah.
I know it is, man.
And
That's amazing.
She's got a tattoo.
It's her calling card.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Shelly, dude.
Dude, she's a riot, man. She's.
I don't even drink anymore. I would get drunk with Shelly.
Bro, my mom throws him back. My mom can throw him back.
Modelo,
dude.
what does she drink?
Bud Light is usually what it would be. Yeah, a lot of Bud Light.
Nice.
Dude, I mean,
Your mom's the man.
I would not. For a year I hid comedy from her. I did not tell her that I would do comedy because I did not want her to come. And then I finally told her it was going to be my 1 year anniversary. I was in the finals of the Helium's Funniest Person in St. Louis contest. I was in the final. It was my first year in comedy. And I was like, hey, I've been doing stand-up for a year. I was like, if you want to come to this show, it's the finals, whatever, come.
Yeah.
First fucking, I'm up on stage for fucking 30 seconds, less than 10 seconds, 15 seconds. I go, hey, what's up, guys? I just turned 21. My mom starts singing happy birthday from the audience. Oh. She's like heckling, singing happy birthday. And I have to be like, okay, yeah, thank you, mom. Thank you. And it like got a big pop. But like I remember in the video, you could see, I like literally just closed myself off to that whole side of the room for the rest of it. And you could tell like it made me like a little bit mad or whatever. But like that's just my mom. Like she loves me. Yeah. Like I'm her son, you know, and like I'm her only son. And she would always tell me she just wanted me to do something. Cause I was like in the gifted program whenever I was a kid, you know, but I just fucking hated school. So I was like a bad kid in school. Yeah, and I gave up on school. Like, especially in high school, I fucking totally gave up. And she was just like, you know, she knew that I wasn't gonna go to college, but she wanted me to just do something. That's what she would always say was like, fucking just do. She wanted me to do something, anything with my life. I think her and my grandma are just real glad that I'm not like homeless or like on bad drugs for real, you know? So, and stand-up comedian is not anything that's desirable. It's like, fuck it. It should be everybody's last choice. But for something's got fucked up in the last like 10 years or like, everybody wants to be, I mean, not even the last 10 years. I would say fucking the last, whatever, 5, 6 years.
There's the saying that goes around now where everybody used to listen to politicians and laugh at comedians, but now everybody listens to comedians and laughs at politicians.
Yeah, right? Yeah, all the shit got...
Well, it's just who tells you the truth.
Yeah.
And comedians have a way of telling the truth.
True. My mom, she would like, they put George Carlin, like all of his specials on Netflix.
That's
it's
great.
like Netflix first became a streamer.
Yep.
I was fucking running through him, dude. And I was like, I'm in like middle school. I'm like howling, laughing in my room. And my mom like would come in and be like, what are you laughing at? I go, do you know this guy, George Carlin? She goes, oh, that's a dirty old man. I go, oh, he's the best. Yeah. Oh shit, my mom hates him. Fuck yeah, he's the best. Dude, my mom saw Tyler, the Creator on TV. He's like got an acceptance speech and he's like, yo, do whatever the fuck you want. Nobody can tell you shit. She goes, I don't know why he has to like cuss and say all that stuff. I go, oh, I love this guy. You know what I mean?
She's holding up a bag of peas on her black eye. You know? She's like, I don't like how he curses.
And she's on the phone like, that fucking bitch better not act up again. I'm gonna fuck her up again, goddammit.
So funny, yeah.
Hey, don't swear. Fuck that bitch.
Yeah. I'll cut her.
Yeah, that's so funny, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom was the same way. Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, very much
definitely.
That. Yeah.
And she would always, she would like just, she wanted me to, she was trying her best. She was always trying her best. And she would always be like, you know, I'm telling you this stuff. And she would always say, I'm not trying to be ugly. That's always what she would say. She goes, I'm not trying to be ugly. I just want you to listen to me, you know? So, yeah. What were we talking about?
We were talking about your dad originally that we went off on a tangent. I don't think we finished up the Hooters.
So we met in the Hooters. Yeah. My ankle was broken. And so I had been in that exact Hooters so many times before. Cause
Shelly take you there?
No, there was a plaza out front, and we would always take our bikes and we would ride street at the plaza that was right there. And then we would go into the Hooters.
As you do.
A bunch of fucking sweaty teenage boys with our bicycles, you know?
Oh, yeah. I bet the girls loved that.
Yeah, right.
They're like, Melanie, they're coming in again. Oh, my God. They smell like Code Red.
Yeah, dude, all of us in our striped tank tops. So, dude, I was a tank top, cut off jeans, Osiris kid.
Oh, damn. Yeah. I know exactly who you were.
Yeah, Osiris's were good because they could protect your ankles from your cranks.
Well, I saw young pictures of you, and what did I say?
What did you say?
You looked emo as fuck. I said, you don't look like you popped a cherry. You look like you broke her Benjamin.
That's so funny. Yeah. I didn't pop her cherry. I broke her Benjamin. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I was like, dude, so, I mean, I lived with my grandma for a little bit. I think so. It was after Sergio. It was when we lived with my grandma for a little bit. And that was whenever I got a little CD player. You know, remember those like the CD?
Yeah, the portable ones.
Yeah, the like Walkman. But
if you walk too hard, it skipped.
Yes, bro. Yeah. Yes.
It taught us how to walk gingerly. Yeah, you had to have light footsteps with a portable CD player.
I had Welcome to the Black Parade on, I got it like came out, whatever, like I got it that year.
I'm embarrassed about what I had.
What was it?
I had Devil Without a Cause, Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. My mom had that.
Nelly, Country Grammar.
My mom had that. Shelly had both of those in the Trailblazer, and we wore those out, dude.
I am terrified to meet Shelly.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like your sixth stepdad.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yes.
John's like, so you like Mexicans? I'm gonna bring back to the home team.
Man, I'm like, Viva la raza, yeah. Donde, Subway, you know what I'm saying? Hey. Fucking, I grew up on a tobacco farm. Yeah, I spent a lot of time with Mexicans.
That's so funny.
He posed as a white Mexican, like a real Spaniard.
Yeah.
I spent most of my time with Mexican immigrants as a kid because
Really?
I was in tobacco fields all the
Yeah.
time. So like I didn't hang out with like white people. I would go to their trailer and drink Budweiser heavy with them at fucking 14,
Right.
15 years old.
Yeah.
I would sneak out the window and make my way to the Mexican trailer.
Wow.
They loved me, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I was baby güero.
I was always hanging out. I was hanging out with white kids. We were just surrounded by white kids, and
That's funny.
yeah.
And we had the same childhood, but different experiences.
Yeah, like
Just
flip-flopped,
flipped them around. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, you were like a farmer white boy that was hanging out with like Mexicans, right?
That spoke
And-
little to no English.
yeah.
There was one of them that spoke English.
That's crazy.
So he would translate, and then like they would say shit about me, and everybody would laugh. And like, what he'd say, he'd be like, no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not gonna hurt your heart, dude. It's like these motherfuckers are mean.
Yeah.
I was like a suburban Mexican that was hanging out with a bunch of like white guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's funny because like you were listening to A Day to Remember, and I was listening to La Malagueña. Da-da-da-da-da,
Bro, it was, yeah, dude. My mom was like Mexican because it was like, dude, Saturday morning, blasting the speakers. She would turn on fucking Spanish music and clean the whole house and shit.
Oh, buddy.
Whenever there were,
Nothing makes you clean like mariachi music, let me tell you.
yeah.
Does your mom code switch by any chance? Like whenever she's around like her Hispanic friends, does she like throw a little bit of a spice in there? Or is she
She'll just
pretty
speak
consistent?
Spanish.
Is she fluent?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
To the
I
most,
mean,
yeah.
for the most, yeah. I mean, not like I don't think perfect
Yeah.
Spanish, but like good. She speaks good.
She's
good
probably
Spanish.
like boss on a construction site fluid.
Yeah, she
Your
could do that
mom,
for sure.
Like sounds like just very like cultured. I mean, like, but just outside of like her own. That's
Which is
very,
in such a weird way. I
Yeah,
mean,
and-
But like American white culture, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
now it's such a melting pot that you can get a white dude that grew up in the hood and he's blacker than some of the black people you've met in your life.
of course.
that's
You know what I mean? You get a
Yeah.
white girl that grew up in the barrio and she's more Mexican than some of the Mexicans you've met.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, she's yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you kind of have to be.
yeah.
When you're in that situation, it's like you either got to be the most Mexican in that room or the most white.
It's a product of your environment thing,
Yeah.
dude.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's
You assimilate. Also, you learn to look through the eyes of a different cultural lens, which I think is really important to
Right.
note. You know, it's not you're pretending to be that.
Yeah.
You're being that.
Yeah.
You are that. You're in that world. You're seeing the world the same way they do.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
And that's how you become that.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? When you're married to a Mexican dude, you share a lot of his problems.
Yeah.
You know, you share a lot of those same worries about fucking ICE or immigration
Yep.
or whatever it may be.
Yeah,
And so you have those sentiments and build up because if that comes, that fucks up your livelihood too.
right.
That fucks up your world as well.
Mhm.
So naturally, you're going to grow resentments and sentiments towards different things that people of a different race than you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're living the same fucking shared experience.
Right.
It's your community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but don't get her started on black people. No, no. I think my grandma probably has some things to say, but not my mom. I think she's cool.
So when you had an uncle and your mom, they had two different dads. Was your mom more raised by your uncle's dad than her dad?
Yeah. So she came back from. He's the one that sent her back to Texas, right?
Right, my uncle's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then.
I think she probably was raised more by my grandma, I think.
Okay.
Mostly. Yeah. I think I think the time that she spent with her dad in Texas was I think like a few years or whatever, but then, you know, Grandpa Bill,
Yeah.
and my grandma, they divorced. So then it was just my grandma, and then I think she came back and got my mom, and then they went to Granite City, to Illinois.
They went to Illinois.
I don't know how they ended up in Illinois.
Yeah.
I really don't know. I have no idea how they ended up in Illinois.
There must have been something to entice them up there.
Yeah, maybe. I fucking cannot for the life of me figure. I mean, I'm
That's a
sure
good question.
my aunts have probably told me.
I mean, it's a great question to
Maybe.
ask your mom.
Yeah.
Like, which county has the most Mexican restaurants?
Yeah.
That's Cole.
That's it.
Good job, buddy.
you.
Little sniper over here, man. That's
Damn,
good.
dude.
That's good. He said, wait.
Yeah. I've never been more proud, man. That's good job.
That was a
Thank
good
you.
one. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know who I would say. Yeah, I guess probably my grandma. Because I think it was like, it was my grandma and she had 3 daughters and a son. And that's my mom, my 2 aunts, and my uncle.
Now that you've told us about your mom's Mexican experience, it makes a lot more sense that you would fight in a bar.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It checks out a lot
and
more.
It's not like a bar. It wasn't like she was at a dive bar. She was at like a discoteca, like a fucking. She would go to those places where like
Right.
the
places
Mexican bar,
where all the
Right.
shootings happen.
the dance clubs. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The places that are on the news all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, those places.
And I think that's where she would find guys too. And I think that's probably also why most of the guys were
We're
fucking,
Mexican.
Well, Mexican, but shit, like bad.
Yeah.
That's
You meet
why
them in
most of them were
bars.
Bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad place to fucking meet people once you get over.
And your sister's
20.
meeting all of her dudes at church.
At church,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And I met my girlfriend at fucking elementary school.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we met in elementary. Dude, we actually fucking one of those girls that we went to school with. She found all these old pictures, and there's like pictures of me and my girlfriend now from like 4th grade, like sitting right next to each other, like doing fucking arts and crafts and shit.
Wow.
Which it's just crazy because I don't even remember because how we met. This is how we met. Is I was the new kid in school, and it was like the middle of the school year. It was like the middle of the school year whenever I transferred over. So, she thought my name was Retardo. And she came up to me and she goes, "Hey, are you Retardo?" And I'm like, "Who the fuck is this? Yeah, dude, what is this? Who is this lady? What the hell?" And we were like, "Nah, we didn't hang out at all that was in 4th grade, and then it wasn't until like senior year that we actually met and like hung out and like had
Buddy,
a connection."
The amount of resistance it's going to take me from now on not to call you Retardo.
Go ahead, man.
No, I can't.
No,
Because
do
it's
it.
hack. It's hack, and I can't bring myself as a comic to be hack.
Yeah, really.
But
No, it's an inside joke.
No.
That's different.
no, it's hack. It's hack. If a kid
She
could
was in
do it,
elementary school. Give her a break.
Yeah,
if a
right.
kid could do it, I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? It's just,
She was like, she thought it was some exotic shit.
it's the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah, right. I mean, yeah.
But also, it's funny when she does it because she doesn't really know what a retard is at that point.
Yeah. Or she does, and she's like, I can get away with it.
Right. She goes, I thought that's like Colombian or something. I don't know. That's what they name them.
Yeah.
I've never met one of these before.
Yeah. Different culture.
Yeah.
Does she ever sign your birthday cards or anything, Retardo?
No, because she knows what'll happen. No. Yeah, that was so.
So that's in Illinois. So you were born in Illinois?
I was born in Illinois.
And
Yeah,
why did you move to St. Louis?
comedy.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
so your mom, did your mom stay in Illinois?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. She's still there in
Gotcha.
Granite City. That's where all my family is.
Why was St. Louis just the closest? Because I'm from Southern Indiana, so like I kind of am in
Oh,
that
okay.
area of like, you know, they got St. Louis. I mean, Chicago's right up there.
Mhm.
Like Nashville's kind of still a thing. Did you make a conscious decision like to follow the comedy or?
Yeah, that's. I was just. I lived far enough where it was just kind of inconvenient. To where I was like, if I just lived closer, I could do. It would just be easier to do stuff, and I always wanted to go.
Yeah.
For as long as I could remember, I wanted to
Get
go.
out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was that way too.
I wanted to get out of that
Same here.
town with my friends. You know what I mean? We were all fucking.
Well, you're probably seeing a lot of people not amount to anything.
Yeah.
And you probably have bigger visions for yourself
Right.
than what was around you.
Mhm.
And I know that was my situation in my case where I'm not going to say I felt intellectually superior to the people around me. I believe that, now I was just kind of a higher vibration. I think the people around me where I'm from, they were just very low vibration people. They were just can go to work, can have the family,
Right.
can go to church,
Yeah.
can do the same thing every day, the monotony, and it brings them joy. But the same thing that brings them joy would bring me fucking misery.
Right.
doing the same thing every day, coming like I'm not saying I don't believe in monogamy, but coming home to the same person, the same experience, the same thing over and over and over again, no new experience.
Right.
It would madden me.
Yeah.
And so I felt the same way where it's like, I've got to escape this.
I mean, yeah, I think I kind of had that too. And I mean, they were telling me I was special, like the good special, but they were like, you know, I mean, they were like putting me in the gifted programs and classes and stuff. And they were like, they were preparing me to like do something that was supposed to be bigger, which I mean, what they were planning was like, you're going to go to college and you're going to like work for a fucking tech company or something like that.
Yeah.
Like that's what the idea, but it just manifested in a different way. But
you know,
yeah.
I always thought it funny that that there was the same expectations on me and all the other kids in the gifted classes, but we had completely different experiences at home where it's like, you got proper sleep, you got proper nutrition, you got a lot of the things that I didn't get, and I had still the same expectations of education that you did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They expected the same thing out of me. And there's no way to see past that. There's no way as an educator, or maybe there is, who knows? But from my experience, there's no way to like to see the people behind us. Does that make sense? Where it's like, there are things that are going on behind us, behind the doors, behind closed doors.
I think teachers do know that. I think sometimes, yeah, they get like intimate knowledge like that with kids.
Sometimes,
yeah, sometimes,
and sometimes I don't think they want to know. You know,
yeah.
I think it's easier not to know.
You can't carry around all that.
I also bet that once a teacher's like they start to get seasoned, they probably start out like a politician. You know, like politician starts out, I want to do good, and then you get corrupted. Like you go overstep, or you start dealing with parents, and then parents are like, don't fucking talk to my kid, and then you know, counselor at school is like, you can't get too involved. And
yeah, Amy Shanker would have those crazy stories about being a teacher in Chicago. Yeah, and yeah, she got desensitized, right? It's like
big time,
definitely a different kind of teacher thing. Yeah.
Have you ever watched The Wire?
No,
buddy, you got to watch The Wire.
Yeah, that's what everyone says.
Part of your homework.
Okay.
Before you get another road date, I need to know that you've watched all of The Wire.
We got to be able to talk about The Wire in the car together. Yeah,
buddy, it was the show, and I'm not proud of this, but everyone used to ask me if I'd seen it, and I used to lie my ass off and be like, yeah, I've seen The Wire, yeah, sure, you know what I mean, just to not be not cool. You know, I don't want to like not look cool in their eyes for not having seen that show. Such a people pleaser. Yeah. And I just, for years, I didn't watch it because I kind of had the guilt of lying about it. And then,
interesting.
And then one day I'm sitting there depressed out of the gourd, right? Haven't left the house in like 2 days, not feeling good, sick as fuck. And it pops up first thing on HBO. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make myself not a liar.
Yeah.
So I watched every single episode pretty much concurrently.
Really?
Okay, for over a period of like 5 to 6 days. I watched 4 seasons of The Wire. I was treating that shit like it was a shift. I was coming in, pulling 8 hours and clocking out. You know what I mean? Like I watched every season of The Wire. And I can say that it is literally one of the best shows ever made.
Nice.
And it was I was honestly mad at myself after for not giving myself that perspective.
Better than Breaking Bad?
At a young, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give it a chance. I mean, people say Game of Thrones was awesome.
Game of Thrones sick.
One season was awesome.
Yeah.
One season.
I didn't finish
the first season was really cool, and I do not give a fuck about Game of Thrones anymore.
Yeah.
It grabbed me. It grabbed me. Dude, season 1 was sick as hell. I think maybe I made it through season 2 or like part of it, and then I just do not give a fuck
how
anymore.
I was with The Wire. I made it to like halfway through like season 2, and then I was like, I don't know, like do something else.
You got to give it to season. You got to give it to the last season because the way they.
Well, that's insane. That's
that is a crazy thing to say.
The way
you
they
gotta wait
close
till
it,
the very end.
They wrap it up good.
I mean, the story itself is.
Oh yeah, it is.
And
it
the
is
actors are incredible.
Yeah.
Like Idris Elba's in there, and you know Wood Harris, and like
a young Michael B. Jordan,
a very young Michael B. Jordan,
like child.
Yeah, and he's tragic story in there.
Yeah,
but great show.
Yeah,
great show. They use real Baltimore gangsters.
It's good
for some of the parts.
I'm not sure why this is his homework, but just go watch The Wire, guys, if you haven't seen it yet.
I'll do it.
We're partnered with HBO now.
Yeah, HBO's now doing podcasts, and Tammy's Boy is going to be not on it.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
definitely a lot of TV growing up for sure.
Oh,
Yeah, me too.
And yeah, a lot of
that actually might lead us into this. So we're going to ask you a couple questions, okay?
Oh, okay.
Some scenario-based questions
Gotcha.
that kind of move into, we've been talking about it a lot, but kind of moving into the psychology of your upbringing and specifically Shelly.
okay.
Okay. So the first one, let's say Jon is adopted by Shelly. Okay. Jon is now your adopted brother. Okay. And let's say you're like 10, 12, you're adolescent age, right?
What's up, bro?
It's your job.
Quit trying to fuck my mom, dude.
It's your job. He walks into the
She's
house.
not my mom.
It's your job to give him like the debrief on like what to expect from the family. Like you're kind of his like mentor getting him started in this. What's that entry pitch to Jon?
You said we're like 10 or 12?
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere around there. Like
You're preparing
Yeah.
me for life.
yeah.
For what it's going to be like living there.
Oh shit, man.
I know we got a lot of phases. We got to figure out which one it's in. But
Oh yeah, we're going to say, bro, shit's gonna be chill as hell. Mom's gonna be gone a lot. She's gonna be working. She's gonna work all the time. So whenever we get off of school, we're gonna go hang out at Latchkey. We're
Okay.
gonna do that until mom gets off, and she's gonna come pick us up. And she'll probably run through fast food. And we're probably gonna eat a lot of fast food, and then
Okay.
she's gonna go out at night, man. But we're gonna have the weekends. We're just gonna be chilling. She'll order us pizza, and it's just gonna be me and you, dog. Me, you, and Megan. You know, and we're just gonna be. That is my sister's name. That is which is, I don't know if there's a weird I don't know if there's a psychological thing there, but my girlfriend's name is also Megan. So I
yeah,
don't
but
know
also
what
you've
that
known her
is.
since
Yeah.
you were a kid. So, I mean,
Yeah.
you can't, I don't think the name has anything.
No, thanks, dude. Thank you. Whew, that was a close one.
Believe me.
I narrowly escaped the.
Believe me, if it did, I would connect it. Okay, I would find a fucking way. If anybody would,
This guy wants to fuck his sister.
that's the title of the app now.
Yeah, man, we're gonna fucking. Oh, we're in the trailer. What grade are you in if you're in like 10 to 12? What grade is
that's
that?
like fourth grade, fourth to like sixth grade.
Yeah,
10,
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're in the
bro.
trailer?
We're gonna hang out in the trailer.
Hey, buddy, let me tell you something. I know my way around the trailer.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Megan's
I'm
gonna
comfortable there. Like there, you don't understand. In the trailer, you're going to experience the real Jon.
Yeah, bro. We're gonna play Guitar Hero till our
Yeah.
fucking fingers fall off.
Oh, buddy, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited to be in this family
Yeah.
because I know it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I know this one.
Yeah.
I know how to survive this family.
You're gonna
We're
eat tongue.
Yeah, I'll eat tongue. Shit, you mean mom's cooking?
yeah.
What
well,
the
no,
fuck?
this is probably past mom's cooking though, because mom would cook when there was a man in the house.
Oh, when there was no man, it
When
was
we
fast
were-
food. Yeah, we were the same way.
Yeah, when there's no man, it's a lot of fast food, and then mom's
John's
gonna.
like, I'll become the man.
We're gonna stay up late as fuck. We're gonna stay up until mom gets home because she's probably gonna stop through Jack in the Box on the way, and we're gonna ask her to get us some bacon cheddar potato wedges, and we're gonna eat bacon cheddar potato wedges
Just
Jake
on the
and a
way home
crack.
from the bar.
on the way home from the bar.
Oh,
yeah.
so you're staying. So you guys are gonna be staying. It's gonna be late
It's like
nights.
3 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily on the weekends for sure. Easily.
Do
3
we have
a.m.
PlayStation?
No, we have a Wii. We have a Wii. Sorry,
Okay.
man.
We bowling until early in the morning, buddy.
Yeah, and Guitar Hero 3.
Oh,
Dude,
hell
bro,
yeah.
when they bought Guitar Hero 3, it was fucking game over. I was so excited, dude. Oh my God. That was Luis.
they
That was
lost
the
you.
Luis era.
They lost you. Yeah, it was like you were a gone
Checked
kid.
out, dude.
Yeah.
Checked out. I was watching My Chemical Romance music videos and playing Guitar Hero 3 for a fucking whole summer, dude. For a whole summer. It's awesome.
Nothing about that shocks me.
Didn't go outside once. Didn't go. I was eating A&W and fucking Papa John's. And also, we're probably going to go over to Noah's house a lot.
Okay.
Noah's the man. He's cool. He lives with his Aunt Sherry. Sherry's sick. Sometimes his hot cousin comes over and hangs out with us and will babysit us. Super cool. We'll be upstairs. Sometimes his hot sister will be there. Sometimes she won't. She'll be out partying or whatever. But we can I don't have like an Xbox, but we can go over to Noah's and play his Xbox. He's got Modern Warfare 2.
Hell yeah.
He stole some kids. He found some kid's IP address and fucking stole his gamer tag, gave it to me. So I got my own gamer tag, and we can. I'm not really that good at Modern Warfare 2, but he'll play, and then me and you can just talk shit on the mic the whole time.
Buddy, this is sounding a lot like my childhood.
Yeah.
It's just like so much like I know
Yeah.
this childhood. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it fits like an old coat. You know, you
Yeah.
just put it on. You're like, oh man, it's warm.
Yeah. Also, Noah
Long
has
John Silver's.
Long John Silver's. Yeah.
Did your mom do this? My mom used to get the crumbs.
Crunchies. The crunchies,
the
bro.
crunchies. Dude.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's crazy,
Shelly
man.
always got the crunchies. We got a
Bro,
whole box of the crunchies, dude.
We had a different name for it. Everybody had a different name for them. We called the crummies. For us, it was crummies.
Yeah.
Or the crumbs. And my mom would order it, and we would get they come like that thick, coated in grease.
Yes.
And we would literally eat it with a fucking spoon,
Yup.
dude.
Yup.
It was insane.
Literally just fried batter. They
Just
literally
fried batter.
Just scrape out the bottom of the fryer and fucking give it to you in a box, dude. Fucking Americans are so gross.
And it was $1. Don't forget, it was only $1.
Yeah.
For the crumbs.
Right.
So, dude, the crumbs, the crunchies. If you ever had a parent, dude, that got you Long John Silver's and they didn't give you the crumbs or the crunchies, they didn't fucking love you.
Yeah.
Okay? Those crumbs and crunchies were love. That was love reincarnated. That was the only reason I bonded with Tammy. Was sitting over a fucking box of that yellow fucking cardboard box of grease-soaked crumbs is one of the only remnants I have of motherly love.
That's so
I grew
funny.
up like with Long John Silver's, and as a kid, I almost had this like weird thing that like Long John Silver's was like kind of like elevated. Did you have?
You
that?
thought it was nice?
I knew it wasn't like fine dining, but it was like it's fish.
It was just different. That's why. Because
Yeah.
it wasn't like a burger or like
Yeah.
chicken tendies.
And like the interior of it, like the one. Also, I think the one like actually looked like like a shack.
Yeah, it was
a
like
seafood
nautical.
shack. And it was like, oh, they like they
Yeah.
care.
nautical
Yeah.
on the inside. Yeah,
About
that shit was
it.
cool. Yeah, so we're gonna do a trailer for a while, but then we're gonna Luis is actually his company. They're gonna buy him a house, and so his landlord is his boss, and we're gonna go stay there. Luis is illegal. He's cool. He buys us a lot of cool stuff, but he's kind of a fucking asshole.
Okay.
So he's not gonna really do anything to you, but he's really mean to mom, and it sucks, dude. He's gonna break a lot of shit.
Damn.
He's gonna break a lot of shit.
I'm not going to like Luis.
No, he's not cool, man. He was not very cool, but he will take you to the roofing job, and you'll get paid to go do some roofing stuff, and
But
you'll go
it's
hang
my
out with
fucking
other
childhood.
illegals
Yeah.
and stuff.
It's literally
Yeah.
my childhood.
dude.
Don't worry.
My
You get manual labor.
my stepdad had a friend named Peanut,
Yeah,
and I used to do roofing jobs with him.
peanut.
Man.
A real dude. Had the ugliest wife I've ever seen in my life. I'll
Her name
never
was
forget. Her name was Barb,
Oh, it was close to butter. I was close.
and she looked like she got drugged through barbed wire. You know what I mean? She was
Yikes.
fucking.
Yeah.
Oh man, she had 3 teeth,
Yeah, I think.
and she
Peanut
would
maybe had a
literally.
drinking problem, if I have to guess.
Yeah, right.
She would literally hide her cold sores in the gaps in her teeth.
Oh
What the fuck?
God!
She would fold them down like convertibles
Not
and
that
stick them in there like
Oh.
fucking like Legos, and it literally push them up almost, and her lip would fold over.
Oh,
It was-
gross. It's
crazy.
Ew.
All right. Well, on that note, Christmases. What can John expect for Christmases?
Depends.
Did you guys have a
man.
tradition? It's probably hard. It probably changed a lot.
Christmases in your house were probably like my house. It's like the stock market. There was up years and there was down years.
Brother.
Yeah.
Brother, sometimes Santa was brute. Yeah, sometimes he had to furlough some elves, dude. Absolutely. Bro, there was one year.
What happened to you, Schnickles?
Yeah.
I got laid off by the big man. Apparently I'm not making enough fucking toys.
Yeah, you gotta
My
join the
fingers are fucking bleeding.
dude, you gotta join the elf union, man. They get benefits, bro. They're on strike one year, man. Yeah, absolutely.
1, 2, 3, 4. We make toys no more.
Yeah.
Crossing the picket candy cane line.
Yeah, it depends on the Christmases. Sergio's Christmases were fucking. Those were all great. Again, dude, he was a really great at the birthday parties, and fucking Christmases were always awesome with Sergio.
Why did Shelly have to lose Sergio?
It just got taught. Just the same. I mean, they would like scream and fight with each other, man. Like they would just get up to a point where I remember one time like when the cops actually came and they had to like they talked to me. And I remember him just going like, look, there's evidence. Like my mom like hit him, like scratched him in the face or some shit. I don't think he hit her back. I'm pretty sure he didn't. I know Luis never hit her, but it would literally, I mean, dude.
It would get close.
It would get, I mean, yeah. I remember one time I was sitting in the living room at Luis's place and something just, they're fighting, like yelling at each other and some shit comes hurling in from the dining room into the living room and smashed like the glass clock on the wall and fucking glass goes everywhere. And I'm like sitting on the recliner and shit. But so some of the ones with Luis were like, they were good Christmases as well, bro. Like, I remember one time we did like a scavenger hunt. It was like a scavenger hunt thing. Like Santa left like a scavenger hunt list. You had to like go around and fucking like presents were hidden around the house and shit.
That's sick.
But then sometimes if it was just mom, it was just Shelly. Like, bro, one year there was like nothing. Like one year I went around the house and I found a bunch of old shit that like none of us really touched, and I fucking wrapped them all up and put them under the tree, and so that way my mom and Megan would have something to open up on Christmas.
Damn.
Because she would have health problems. Like my mom has worked in the medical field, like she's been like just like a secretary or whatever. But she would get injured, you know, and she would have surgeries, and then she would get pain pills, and then she would be doing the pain pills, and then she would be, dude, there was like, whenever she was with Cuervo for a while, like she was like bedridden for like almost a fucking year because of some fucking problem she had with her back. And then she was like taking these pain pills and then she was like all fucked up. And like, there was one time when we were living alone and like, she would be like nodding out on the couch, you know, like, which is like when you're like a teenager, it's kind of cool because you can kind of do whatever the fuck you want. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're just like, there's no real curfew if your mom nods off on the couch. You know what I mean?
Dude, our upbringings are eerily similar. It's honestly kind of spooky a little bit that happened to somebody else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But eerily similar. I mean, I had like a lot of stepdad abuse for me and my brother. It was a lot of torture and shit like that made my experience just a little bit different.
Yeah.
But when it came to the drug use with my mom, dude, she had this blanket and we called it the Goodfella blanket. And it's because she smoked cigarettes and she was always on Valium. So she would write down. And there, I mean, it literally looked like you held it in front of fucking the car when Sonny gets killed in Goodfellas. Right. It was just like holes.
Yeah.
Little burnt holes.
Yeah.
All throughout this blanket. It looked like Swiss cheese. Mm-hmm. And I vividly remember those blankets throughout my childhood with all the burn holes in them. And it was because of how fucked up she was. And she would literally just go to sleep all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Luckily she had quit smoking. So I didn't have to do it. But I
wasn't a fire hazard.
No fire hazard. But I do remember vividly her smoking in the car whenever I was a kid with the windows rolled out.
Yeah.
Me and my sister watched Cheaper by the Dozen at the babysitter's house. And my mom came and picked us up from the babysitter's house, and me and my sister are just going back and forth calling each other a FedEx. We're going, "You're a FedEx, you're a FedEx." My mom's just in the front on the phone, smoking a cigarette, going, "You're both FedExes, shut the fuck up." In the Pontiac, bro.
Oh, was it a Pontiac Grand Am?
G6.
Oh wow, yeah. Like a G6.
That's a car, right? The Pontiac G6. That's something. Yeah, I think that's. I forget
you're like 10 years younger than me, so the car's a little bit different.
Yeah, cars are different.
Yeah, my mom had the Pontiac Grand Prix, which was the precursor to the G6.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, I think Tammy and Shelly would have been friends.
Probably.
They might be friends now.
Probably.
I'm telling you, dude. Well, my mom's still benzoed out. There's no connecting to Tammy anymore. She's gone. Damam. This was a really good episode.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it? Are we done already?
No, we're almost done.
We're starting to wrap up. Let me throw out another one for you. So again, we're gonna have to figure out, which timeline, we're gonna be working with on this one. So let's say
actually, I know which one you're gonna do.
Yeah.
You're gonna do the one about having to fix something.
Yeah.
Let's not do that one.
Okay.
Because I mean it's gonna depend so much with him just based on era.
Basically, we're already talking about it. So the question was, let's say your water heater breaks. okay, or some sort of large household appliance that would, is, annoying. What would the chain of events be on that?
Let's say,
it
let's
would be
do this.
broken.
Let's say Shelly's alone. There's no man.
Right.
How does she handle that?
Landlord.
Yeah,
So
landlord.
immediately just call the landlord. Yeah.
Yeah.
She would try, and she would, like, if the pilot light went out, she would try to fix it and get it working again, and then she would just call the landlord. Yeah.
She would give
Do
it a
you
shot.
ever
She would
remember?
try. Yeah. But
Do you ever remember having a good relationship with your landlord?
most of the time, yeah. Because landlords are usually, they knew she was like a single mom with
Yeah.
fucking kids or whatever, so they were usually pretty cool. But she would talk shit. She would like, fucking this guy, fucking asshole, wouldn't fucking come help or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah. One guy was a cop. He was like a cop, and he was our landlord, and I was selling weed out of the house.
Nice.
That's
I go
right.
down, you go down.
That's
Lieutenant.
right, dude. That's
Yeah.
right. But no, we had like a fucking a pink power tool set at the house. A
Okay.
pink bag
Yeah.
with the little hammer in it and shit.
Yeah.
That was one thing that I said. Shout out to fucking dads that leave their families. Without them, there would be no pink tools. There would be no little hammers with a little pink grip on it or whatever.
That's great.
All right, this is the last one. We might have to do the same thing. So another question that we ask is, if you were caught with a misdemeanor size amount of drugs. So we're not talking like real time. We're talking maybe something light, community service maybe. The question would be, which parent would be more likely to take the rap for you? Now, for this instance, in any circumstance, could you see Shelly taking that rap for you?
Bruh, she making me do my time. My mom's making me do my fucking time.
You
bruh.
doing every fucking minute. I've got no question whatsoever.
Yeah.
And she might visit.
She was a smart mom where she would, anytime something would happen, she would say, "What did you do?" She would always go, "What did you do?"
What was your responsibility in this?
Right.
Yeah.
Every time. So me and the fellas, me and all the boys, the BMX gang, one night we decide we were doing some underage drinking at my buddy's house, and we decided, let's go ride our bikes to Jack in the Box. Jack in the Box, big part of my life. Fuck, dude.
Jack in the Crack, dude.
Yo, when the munchie meal dropped, that was crazy, dude. The munchie meal fucked up the crew, man. It was crazy.
Dude, the late night, the cravings
Lost a lot of
box,
guys.
the late night cravings box.
The munchie
was-
meal.
Yeah, that thing was legit.
The munchie meal was insane, dude. And they did breakfast 24 hours.
Yeah, and they would put breakfast in the munchie meal.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God. Anyway, so we decided we were gonna ride our bikes to Jack in the Box, and on the way, we may or may not have kicked over like every trash can on the way.
Naturally.
Oh shit.
And it's not hard to find. Granite City's not like a huge. It's not a city. It's
Small town.
Small town. People. It's not hard to figure out where the fucking retards are on bikes that are kicking over trash cans. We're running away. We're trying to not get caught by the cops. They get us. They get me and another one of my friends. And my buddy, it was the summer of basketball shorts. It was a big deal. He said it's summer of basketball shorts. We're in basketball shorts all summer long. I go, all right, but he can't. So he had me hold his wallet to not hold way down his basketball shorts. So I have his wallet in my back pocket. Sure enough, the cops, they check me. They find his wallet. They open it up. They go, oh, thanks for this. Oh, I just said his name. Shout out. I was the best man at his wedding. The guy that was on Jerry Springer with me. It was him.
I'm gonna have you back on to tell that story.
Okay, yeah, we can go over. We got plenty. There's so much more stuff. But so the cops find us. Whatever, they find him at his house. They arrest all of us. They take us to the police station. They put us in a cell, like one of the holding cells or whatever. Me and my buddy Bryce were together. We were super into NWA that year. And also I think that was kind of like the same year that the biopic was coming out. So we're in the cell rapping "Fuck the Police."
Oh my God.
This is my buddy Bryce. He's also a half white, half Mexican kid. And then the cops come. They call all of our parents. Everyone gets picked up one by one. My mom comes and picks me up, and on the way, she makes me pick up every trash can. And it's daybreak at this point. Like it's like
4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning.
it's like 6 o'clock in the morning. Like the sun's coming up, and she's driving down the street, and you can just see all the fucking cans are not. And you know what's fucked up, dude? I didn't kick over any trash cans. I swear, I didn't kick over a single trash can. It was all fucking. It was Zach doing most of it. It was mostly fucking Zach doing it. But my mom was like, "I'm gonna drive next to you. Get out of the car." And she's making me pick up all the fucking trash cans on the drive back. So yeah, she would make me do my time. Yeah.
I've got no doubt now.
Right.
Yeah, after hearing the trash can story, I'm like, yeah, dude, I thought you would do every second before. Now I know you're doing every second. And she's actually going to argue against you if you're going to get parole.
Yeah.
Good behavior. What has he done? What did he really do?
Yeah, that was going to be my last.
Did he paint the prison? Because if he didn't.
That was going to be my last question, which was, would you have your mom defend you in court?
I think you could have her go on the stand and she would say a lot of nice stuff because I'm her son. Maybe. I don't know. Would I have her? Yes, yeah. I think I would. I think she would try her best in a real serious situation. I think she would really be like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do about this? Because like, she wouldn't rat me out to she found a felony amount of drugs in my closet. And she was just like, get it out of my fucking house. Mm-hmm. That was it. She could have she could have called the cops. She could have done anything. But she was like, just get it out of my house. I don't want it in my house. Mm-hmm. And she was, dude, I remember like my buddy got fucked up by life, dude. And he started like drinking before I did whenever we got into high school and shit. And like he was partying, going to parties. Like he wanted to be like one of the like cool popular kids. I never wanted to. I fucking despised all those kids. But so he like partied all night, walked across town, showed up at I was gone. I was like at the skate park. But he like walked all the way across town, showed up at my house. Like my mom like brought him inside, like gave him a bunch of, she said that like he came in, drank a bunch of water and then like threw up in the sink, and like my mom like helped him and took care of him and stuff like that. So, she was always about helping out all the kids and stuff. So
that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Dude, Shelly's a real one, dude.
My mom's real as fuck, man. She is. And she finally fucking whenever I said she was bedridden for like a year, she like sued that surgeon, got a payout from it. She finally owns her own house.
Let's go.
Her and my sister are living there with her dog Rio. She loves her dog. She always loves her dogs.
Well, tell your mom I said what's up.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll tell you said what's up. God damn it. Now, my grandma, my buddy, I did a podcast with my buddy Will O'Donnell. He's a comic. Every time my grandma would see Will O'Donnell, she goes, that Will O'Donnell's so funny. I'm like, Grandma, stop, dude. My grandma wants to fuck the co-host of my podcast.
Oh, wait till your mom watches this one. Well, we always close this up real simply. It's if you had one piece of advice to give to everyone out there raising a kid right now, based on your own childhood experience, what would you tell parents?
Just be there, try hard as you can.
Yeah,
I guess. I don't know. Well, fuck. I'm not gonna have kids. I never want to have kids. No? I never want to be a dad. No, that shit's. I've seen too many dads that have like. They cower away, man. They're scared. And I think a lot of people blame their dads for a lot of shit. So it's a lot of pressure being a fucking parent, man. So I would say if you're a dad, fucking try. Anytime I find out that a dad is like trying a good for you, be in the kid's life or whatever, be around.
Yeah, I like that, man.
Yeah.
That's the best thing you can do is just be there.
Be there.
Well, do you want to let the people know where they can find you?
Find me on Instagram at Ronaldo Sucks.
I feel like when I tag them and stuff, I feel bad because I feel like I'm saying Ronaldo sucks. But I don't feel that way, buddy. I think you're pretty great, man, and I appreciate you for doing the pod.
Yeah, this was thanks for the therapy or whatever, I guess. Thanks.
That's what we're here for.
Dude, I say at the beginning of the episode, we have the disclaimer in there. Jon Carden is not a therapist; he is just a friend.
Nice. Thanks for being a friend, dude.
That's all I want to be.
Appreciate it.
It's just listen.
I didn't cry. I was worried. I'm like, dude, am I gonna come in here and like start crying about my childhood?
Holy
Holy
shit!
shit!
There's gonna be a part two, and now we know where to really get you. We're going back to that Hooters. We are going back to that Hooters,
buddy. If you don't cry about the Jerry Springer story, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, I like that, and we can live with a cliffhanger too, to be continued, man.
To be continued,
Absolutely.
man. There's another. You told me on the way back from South Padre. And believe me, I don't think you've ever seen me more riveted.
Yeah.
Where I'm literally, I set up in my seat, my position changes. All of a sudden, I'm at 10-2.
Yeah.
And I'm like hanging on every word that he says. I'm like, oh, you told me that you were on Jerry Springer? You might as well tell me you went to fucking Narnia.
Yeah.
Well, Tammy's kids, thanks for coming in. I appreciate you so much. No, for real, thank you. Keep liking, subscribing, sharing, doing all the things you're doing. And we'll keep doing what we're doing by trying to make this the best damn podcast in the whole world.
Damn right.
Appreciate you. See you soon.
Is your mama alive? Did your daddy make you cry? Hey, it's Tammy's boy. Tammy's boy. Tammy's boy. Hey, it's Tammy's boy.
They can subscribe. Why can't they? What would ever prevent them from subscribing?
Well, that's the question. Why wouldn't you subscribe?
It's like, you know what I mean? Subscribe if you can. No, you can.
You can. It's
What?
free, actually.
People with nubs for arms can do it with their tongue, dude. You got this.
You got this.
I believe
Listen,
in you.
we believe in you.
Yeah.
Subscribe.